happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This old world.
This is Danny Tanner.
My angel.
Mom's gotta go. Mom's gotta go. She's gonna be late for the plane. Grandma's gotta go.
Danny owns a home in San Francisco with his brother-in-law, best friend, and 3 kids.
You lost my daughter? I went to work for 7 hours and you lost 33% of my children? Didn't you notice a very small person moving everything she owns out of the house?
Danny is the main character of a sitcom that will span 8 seasons and be one of the most syndicated television shows of all time.
You lost my daughter? I went to work for 7 hours and you lost 33% of my children?
No?
Joey,
Wait.
call the police.
Who the f is this guy? What is a Bob Saget?
Whatever happened to predict?
Full House is one of the most iconic pieces of the 90s. It was full-on, family-friendly comedy starring Slender Man and that one kid he had that was constantly being swapped out for a lookalike. If you were between the ages of 6 and 20 in the late 90s or early 2000s and you stayed up past 8 p.m., it is almost impossible that you didn't see this on a near nightly basis.
Is this working out great or what?
Full House made having a massive family seem like a significantly better time than it really is, and most importantly, it proved just how excellent its 3 leads really were. What do I mean by that? One of these 2 is a significantly better Danny Tanner than the other. In 1986, an ABC producer caught a comedy show in Georgia. In it was a man named John Posey. That ABC representative liked Posey a lot, so he brought Posey out to LA where ABC told him they'd make him a star. He was going to be their guy moving forward. Well, so Posey says. Not sure how much I can believe fake Danny Tanner here, but I digress. It's at this point ABC gives Posey the lead role on a new sitcom. This sitcom was going to be big for the network. This one was one they believed in. It was called Full House. And by give it to him, I mean they really handed Posey the show, contract and all. Now if you're thinking to yourself, how does this 5'9" southern chia pet end up growing a 1.5 feet tall into the Danny Tanner we know and love? Well,
Okay, quiz time. How's everything gonna work out?
Posey, ABC, and the entire cast of Full House shot the pilot all the way through, cut it together, edited it, and handed it to the execs of the studio, who quickly greenlit the show. The show was picked up, it was gonna be made, Posey and all. A month later, Posey packs up his things in Georgia and starts the drive to LA to move into his new life as Danny Tanner on a primetime sitcom when his beeper goes off. That's right, beepers were a thing, boys and girls. The least convenient technology imaginable. And it beeps, literally in the car, in the middle of Mississippi, while he was driving to LA. As his beeper was going off, this was being shot. This is the exact same pilot Posey shot and was picked up for. Literally, shot for shot, the same pilot. In fact, Bob Saget here is wearing the exact same outfit as Posey was in his version of the episode. Unbeknownst to Posey, ABC settled for him. They never really wanted him at all. What they wanted was 2 other people, one of which was Bob Saget, who at the time of the pilot's first shooting was not available. Posey hears the beeper, he pulls over, finds a payphone, calls his agent. Well, Saget is available now.
How rude!
Bob Saget would finish shooting his version of the pilot, and it would be the exact same episode, but this time it was, well, better. So you might be wondering, it's really expensive to shoot and improve these pilots. Why would the studio recast their star character after greenlighting and picking up the show? Bob was Danny. All it takes is a short look at the 2 pilots side by side to see just how much better Saget really was. Posey's pilot isn't just unfunny, it's uncomfortable at times. Take this scene with Jesse, for example, when he's introducing him to his new room, pink bunny and all. Jesse says,
You know what would look adorable over here by the window? Barbie's dream house.
and Posey, overexcitedly and overdramatically, makes the dream house quip.
We've got one.
It's very forced, and it feels like a sitcom character ready to laugh at his own joke. Now here's Bob.
You know what would look great over here by the window? Barbie's dream house.
We've got one.
This shouldn't have been all that surprising to ABC. At the time of the pilot, Posey was an incredibly inexperienced actor who had never done anything even remotely like a family sitcom. He was a comedian working in comedy troupes doing what he referred to as SNL-style fast-paced comedy. And you can see it in the original Full House pilot.
Ding, 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 ding. That's correct. DJ to tie. How's everything gonna work out?
Posey's Danny Tanner only had one mode, and it was full-on, fast-paced, funny guy. That version of Danny would have created a significantly different environment for the show's future. Instead of being the calm, grounding presence in a frenetic house, there would have been two Joeys running around shoving their hands in anything covered in cloth. And it wouldn't have worked. Even Posey himself told interviewers later that shooting the pilot, he wasn't sure how well it could have gone, and was surprised that this show was the one they put in his lap. Saget, on the other hand, was just the right amount of America's dad to perfectly balance the gruffness of Stamos and the comedic relief of, well, this version of Dave Coulier.
That's fine with me.
Full House ended up struggling in its first season regardless. The first batch of episodes were lit on fire by critics. Most critics thought the show was a poor, unexciting, and downright boring attempt to recreate the family comedies that had defined the previous 2 decades. Its aggregate review score to this day sitting at 31 out of 100. Critics believed that there was nothing particularly special about the series, and with Posey as Danny, that might have remained true. But what made Saget's Full House work eventually was character, was the almost unbelievable level of balance the casting choices of nearly everyone on the show brought to one of the largest episode-to-episode casts in sitcoms at the time. And Danny Tanner was the planet that those characters revolved around. He was the gravity, the grounding, the reason, the giraffe. Posey was the polar opposite, from acting style to personality. So much so the opposite that by the time his son finally saw his version of the pilot years later, he actually called it disturbing. It's worth pointing out that at this point I would return my son to the store. But Posey would be alright. He'd go on to play roles on shows like CSI, he'd be a tongue-obsessed doctor on the most successful sitcom of all time, Seinfeld. Posey would go on to play roles in over 54 different TV shows and films over the next 3 decades, in fact. He not only became a good actor, but a great one. He'd also produce this guy. So that's a pretty good accomplishment, I guess. As for Posey's version of the pilot, it actually remained unaired. The episode never saw the light of day and sat within the walls of the studio for years, until finally the DVD release of the series saw ABC stealthily drop the original pilot on the season 1 disc as a bonus. The show itself would obviously live on to become a staple of nearly every home for the next 30 years, but for one day, just one day of the Tanners' life, their father, their friend, their brother, was someone else entirely. To this very day, that original pilot plays out like a strange fever dream. So the next time you're feeling down, maybe you failed an exam or dropped your baby, just remember, you could be this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's episode. Did you watch Full House? Do you still like Full House? Have you seen Fuller House? And if you have, what do you think about that? Use the comments down below to tell me what you think of any and all of those things. If you enjoyed today's video, press the like button. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, we are Nerdstalgic. We put out more and more stuff just like this. The weird, the stuff you didn't know, and sometimes just downright letting you know about the things that you've probably forgotten about, but we still remember. So press subscribe and also hit the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified every time we upload something that you haven't thought about in 10 to 15 years, or maybe more. So hit the bell so you get the information there. You'll know when we upload a video. As for the rest of this stuff, yeah, thanks for watching. To your left and your right here are 2 other videos on this channel about things that you probably also forgot about. And until the next video, I'll be looking for my VCR.